Hello viewers, it's been a while. Before we begin, I'd like to apologize for this video not coming out when I wanted it to. I was rather silent about this, but around the 19th of January, I was hospitalized due to a buildup of my acid levels in my gut, or should I say stomach. But I'm out now and recovering as we speak. But I doubt you saw any difference with all the shorts I've been uploading ahead of schedule. With that being said, it's late, but going forward, we will be back on track with new videos coming out soon. Anyway, thank you for your patience, and now on with the video. On January 15th, 2007, in the small town of Ridgeway, Georgia, a tight-knit community gathered to celebrate Martin Luther King Jr. Day. The local church, St. Peter's Baptist, held its annual MLK service, an event that had been a tradition for over 30 years. Among the attendees was the Harris family, John, 42, his wife Denise, 39, their daughter Kayla, 16, and their youngest son Noah, just 10 years old. John was a local history teacher and passionate about the civil rights movement. Denise worked at a local hospital as a nurse. The Harris family was well loved and had lived in Ridgeway for nearly a decade. They had no enemies, no financial troubles, just an ordinary happy family. The MLK service that evening was lively. People sang, shared stories of Dr. King's legacy, and ended with a communal potluck. Around 9:30 p.m., the family left the church, waved goodbye to their neighbors, and got into their silver 2003 Honda Odyssey minivan. That was the last time anyone saw them alive. The next morning, neighbors noticed something strange. The Harris house was dark and eerily silent. This was unusual because John was always up early, taking a morning jog before heading to work. Denise usually left for the hospital around 6:30 a.m., but on January 16, neither of them showed up for work. Concerned, a neighbor, Mrs. Geraldine Parker, went to check on them. She knocked on the door. No answer. Their dog, a golden retriever named Duke, was barking aggressively inside. Something wasn't right. She called the police. When officers arrived, they forced open the front door. What they found inside still haunts the town of Ridgeway to this day. The Harris home was untouched, as if they had just stepped out for a quick trip. Dinner plates were still on the table, half-eaten food left untouched. The TV was on, paused on a recorded MLK documentary. Denise's purse was still on the kitchen counter. Kayla's cell phone was plugged into the charger. Their car keys were hanging by the front door, but the family van was gone. It was as if they had walked out of their home and vanished into thin air. Duke, the family dog, had gone crazy, barking nonstop at the back door. When officers checked outside, they found the family's footprints leading away from the house, but they stopped abruptly in the middle of the yard. There were no car tracks, no tire marks, no signs of struggle. Just footsteps that mysteriously ended. For 3 days, there was no sign of the Harris family. No one had seen them, no activity on their bank accounts, and no evidence they had left voluntarily. It was a complete mystery. Then on the night of January 19th, the family's silver minivan was found, abandoned nearly 40 miles away, deep in the woods of Dawson Forest, an area known for its eerie past. The van was unlocked, the keys still in the ignition. The Harris family's coats were neatly folded in the back seat, even though it was freezing outside. A single set of muddy footprints led from the van into the woods, but they abruptly stopped after about 20 feet. There were no signs of the family, no blood, no struggle, just emptiness. A search party was organized, consisting of police officers and volunteers. The deeper they went into Dawson Forest, the more unsettling things became. Around 1:45 a.m., officers came across an old abandoned hunting cabin covered in graffiti, with a rotting stench coming from inside. Inside, they made a horrifying discovery. John Harris's jacket was hanging on a nail near the doorway. A family photo of the Harrises was placed neatly on a wooden table, but all of their eyes had been scratched out. A Bible lay open on the floor, with the words they know scrawled in red ink across the pages. In the back room, a single bloody handprint was found on the wall, too small to belong to John, but likely a child's. No bodies, no Harris family. They were gone. The case went cold until one final chilling event. On January 23rd, 6 days after their disappearance, a 911 call was received at exactly 3:15 a.m. Dispatcher, 911, what's your emergency? A woman's voice whispering, trembling. It was Denise Harris. They took us. It's not human. Please help. A loud screeching sound cut off her words, followed by static, then silence. The call was traced to a burner phone found in a dumpster behind an abandoned gas station 80 miles away. It was the last time anyone heard from the Harris family. Despite hundreds of leads, extensive searches, and nationwide media coverage, the Harris family was never found. The house remained untouched, eventually abandoned. The cabin was burned down mysteriously a year later. No suspects, no bodies, no closure. Some believe they were abducted by a cult, a human trafficking ring, or even something supernatural. Others whisper that they saw strange lights in the sky that night, claiming the family may have been victims of something beyond human comprehension. To this day, on MLK Day, people claim to hear whispers near the Harris house, and some say if you drive past Dawson Forest at night, you might see a shadowy figure standing at the edge of the trees, watching, waiting. No one knows what happened to the Harris family that MLK Day. Their story remains one of Georgia's most chilling and unsolved mysteries, and the question still haunts those who remember. What did Denise mean when she said it's not human? We may never know. Here's another chilling long-form MLK Day horror story that remains one of the most terrifying and unsolved mysteries to this day. It is filled with eerie details and suspense, perfect for adapting into a long YouTube script. Now, viewers, cast your eyes onto the evening of January 18th, 1999, Martin Luther King Jr. Day. A Greyhound bus carrying 12 passengers left Montgomery, Alabama, headed to Atlanta. The bus driver, William Bill Cook, was a 58-year-old veteran driver who had been making this route for over 20 years. The trip was supposed to take 3.5 hours, but that bus and all its passengers were never seen again. To this day, the case of the missing MLK Day bus remains one of the most bizarre and unexplained disappearances in modern history. Surveillance footage from a gas station in Notasulga, Alabama, showed the bus stopping at 10:15 p.m., Passengers exited to grab snacks, and Bill Cook was seen talking to another bus driver. Everything seemed normal, except for one unsettling detail. A young woman, later identified as Rachel Goodwin, 23, was seen standing outside the bus, refusing to get back on. She argued with the driver. She looked terrified. She kept glancing at the dark woods behind the gas station. According to the gas station clerk, Rachel kept whispering something under her breath before finally shouting, "I'm not getting back on that bus. It's not safe." Then she ran off into the woods, disappearing forever. Her body was never found. And the bus? It pulled away from the station at 10:23 p.m. That was the last time it was ever seen. When the bus failed to arrive in Atlanta by 2 a.m., Greyhound dispatchers tried radioing Bill Cook. No response. By morning, the bus was officially reported missing. The search began immediately, covering every inch of the Interstate 85 route, but there was no trace of the bus, its passengers, or the driver. What made the case even stranger? No wreckage, no distress calls, no traffic cameras saw the bus after 10:23 p.m. No toll booths recorded its license plate. It was as if the entire vehicle had vanished into thin air. 1 year after the bus disappeared, on January 18th, 2000, the Atlanta Police Department received a phone call at 3:14 a.m. A static-filled voice whispered, "Help us. The road never ends. We can't get off." Then the call cut off. The caller ID, it traced back to a payphone at an abandoned gas station, a station that had burned down in 1977. And here's where it gets worse. Authorities reviewed the last call records made from that payphone before it was destroyed. The most recent call? It was also on January 18th. But the year was 1969. Over the years, multiple witnesses have reported seeing a mysterious Greyhound bus on MLK Day, driving along dark, empty roads, only to vanish into the night. Truckers have claimed they've seen a bus full of passengers staring blankly out the windows, their faces pale and ghostly. One driver in 2015 swore he saw a woman pounding on the bus windows, screaming as if begging for help, only for the bus to turn a corner and disappear. Could it be the same bus that vanished in 1999? And if so, where has it been all these years? Some theorists believe the missing MLK Day bus entered a time loop, possibly driving on a stretch of road where time is broken. Others say the bus drove into another dimension, a realm where time moves differently, explaining why the ticket reappeared with a future date. And then there's the most chilling theory, that the bus still exists somewhere, endlessly traveling a ghostly highway with its passengers trapped in time, unable to escape, that they call out year after year, only on MLK Day, hoping someone will find them. Will the bus return in 2029? If the ticket date was correct, the bus should have reappeared on January 18th, 2009, but it didn't. Or maybe no one was there to witness it. The next expected return date, January 18th, 2029. And if the bus does return, will the passengers still be alive? Or will they be something else entirely? The MLK Day Lost bust remains one of the strangest transportation disappearances in U.S. history. And every MLK Day, people still drive along I-85, hoping to catch a glimpse of the missing passengers who never made it to Atlanta. Some say if you're driving alone on a dark road on MLK night, you might see a Greyhound bus approaching from behind with no driver and passengers with hollow eyes staring back at you. But whatever you do, don't follow it and never, ever get on. Well, how's that for a nice long form video? Back to the basics with all the shorts I've been doing lately, and I'm happy to say that this month has yielded the desired result of growing our community. Now, as of recording this, we are at 56 subscribers. I can't tell you that, as small as this may be to others, I for one am touched beyond mortal words that can describe it. I'm just happy and truly humbled and honored that you fine folks dig my stories enough to come back for more and more. Makes me feel special in a way. My next goal is to hit 100 subs. Hopefully, by the end of February. Think you guys can help with spreading the word and sharing these videos around? I hope so. And why not? Please give this video a fat thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, if you are new, and click the notification bell for the latest video uploads. Up next are some other videos I have in store for February. And of course, Valentine's Day is on the horizon. Boy, are those stories going to be juicy and rich in stories to share. You don't want to miss out on that. Friends, before I go, remember, we're always watching.